Hey all, thanks for tuning back in. We are continuing with enhancements to our Mk4 Jetta, which we added antlers to. I mean, roof rack with kayak racks and bike racks and all sorts of racky type thingies so we can be really outdoorsy. And what it has done though, the side effect, is it's made it very, very noisy to be in a car. It's enhanced the wind factor. So very much enhancement.
Previously on Battlestar Galactica.
And with a swish and a flick, she's back together, just like magic. That's exactly how this works. I have a decibel meter app on my phone, which I've calibrated using an actual decibel meter that I use professionally. So this is fairly accurate, and you can see right now, bring you in here, that the nominal level in here with just the motor running is about 61 decibels. And when we get on the freeway, it gets much louder. So we're going to just kind of do a test to hear how loud the wind noise is when we're on the freeway using quantifiable, measurable, repeatable kind of tests so that we know it's not just our imagination. When we add the wind deflector to the front of this, we'll be able to measure it and see how much it actually quiets it down. So I'm going to get out on the freeway, and I did pre-test this before with the decibel meter app just to see what it was going to give us a reading at. And I also noticed a couple of things. Being that your ears, our heads, sitting here, are pretty close to the roof, it is significantly louder where our heads are at. So that's where the GoPro is mounted at, and I'm going to have to take the decibel reading app and hold it up to get a more accurate reading of what we're measuring from, rather than down here by the dash, which is just, it actually kind of blocks some of the noise. And again, this is not in a very noisy car. This is in a Mk4 1.8T that is completely stock, all the way down to the paper air filter. So nothing special going on in this other than the roof racks. Microphone up there. Decibels is what we're getting up there. Alright, so that's our measurement factor. We know where to start from. So when I come back afterwards and we repeat this after adding the wind deflector, we'll see how much quieter it gets and if it's just all in our mind. The other thing that this app does, and it will give us a frequency breakdown of where the wind noise is taking place. And then when we do the wind deflector, we'll recreate this and we'll measure it again and see where the frequencies change based on that wind deflector. Because these are from Sweden in true IKEA style, it comes with an instruction manual that is like Lego instructions.
minutes later.
All right, so here we are on the freeway for our road test, and I can say it is noticeably quieter. I'm going to go ahead and put the camera up here near the roof line. I do still hear wind noise, but before it sounded like a window was open, and now that's just not the case. So I put my camera back here for a second, and got my decibel meter. So I'm going to hold that up there and just see what it is reading. Take a quick glance. 71. All right, so. And I'm going to look at the frequency graph as well. So I'm going to be quiet for a second so I can freeze and take a shot of that. And listening, it is noticeably quieter. And I'm looking at that graph. And I'm noticing that most of the frequency difference appears to be in the mid-range, which is that kind of area of sound. So that's good. It is noticeably quieted down. Now I'm going to compare the graphs back to back and check it, check the math on it and see. I know that this average level of 72 is what we've decreased at least 4 decibels, which might not seem like a lot, but that, again, that's the average, and this reads all the way from 20 hertz up to 20,000 hertz, so it's a big frequency spread, and it's giving me the average across that entire spread. But what I'm seeing is a decrease in all the mid-range frequencies, which is right where it's annoying to human ears. So that's a good thing. I'm going to measure and find out what the actual level decrease was in those frequencies, and then report back. All right, so I had a chance to do the frequency analysis, and I found out that we lost an average across the entire frequency spectrum of 5 decibels, which may not sound like a lot, but it also got rid of a very prominent hump of annoying sound that was happening right at 4,000 hertz. So kind of a whistling thing happening there, gone. That in itself is worth doing a wind deflector on your roof rack. So now I'm just going to go ahead and say, if you have roof racks, get one of these. It'll make your driving so much less stressful, having less noise. You could hear how much the cabin wind noise was decreased. You actually have a conversation without it sounding like a door was open or a window was open. So anyway, I'm approving this modification. I know most people that do roof racks, they wonder, do I really need it? Do I need to spend the extra 70 or 80 bucks or more, depending on what the brand model is? I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Yes, it's worth it. Go ahead and do that. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Just a little personal update. We got some bad news this past couple of weeks and have learned that my wife has cancer. So we are now going through the process of diagnosis, finding out what her treatment is going to look like. We don't even know what stage she is at. We know that she has a particular form of leukemia. So if you're out there and you're the praying sort, I would appreciate your prayers through in our direction. And we don't know yet anything. We really don't know anything yet. So would appreciate your prayers. Go ahead and hit subscribe, like, share this video. Appreciate that. If you would be willing to support us on Patreon, I think my Patreon channel may expand from just supporting this bad car habit to potentially supporting some of our medical needs and personal needs in the middle of what is now our new normal, and we don't even know what that is going to be, dealing with cancer. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, for liking the channel, and we'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.
And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to say goodbye. We'll be back.